Hey, I'm Johnny Palmer, and in 2021, I bought that, which is my Boeing 727 airliner private jet. It was done as a hobby initially, but then it turned into quite a good business, so I thought I should do a second one. And in this series, I'm going to talk you through the whole process of installing ground force at Skyline Park, the engineering, the technical challenges, the planning, and hopefully at the end, the big launch of the whole thing being made available to the public. Like and subscribe and follow this channel to learn about this journey with me. Today's a big day because today we build the entire ground floor. So how does that work? The last few months we've been working on each of these containers individually in parallel down in the yard. And because it's modular construction, the whole lot can be put in place in one day. So you go from a dirty building site and some foundations to the entire ground floor being built. But in construction, nothing is easy. The HIAB turned up today. That's the truck with the big crane on the back of it. And it turns out the sauna container is about 3 times the weight of what we thought it was, so he can't lift it. So you need to get a new truck in today to pick up the sauna container so we can get to the plant room containers so we can move them up here and we can start building everything. So it's never easy, but fingers crossed by the end of the day we will have the ground floor built, and in a couple of weeks' time we can do the entire first floor in one go. What is a HIAB? So a HIAB is a flatbed lorry that has a crane arm on it. And this crane arm folds up in the back of the truck, folds out, and then it can pick things up. Now, the one we've got today is called a 50-ton HIAB arm. However, that doesn't actually mean it can lift 50 ton. What it means is right next to the truck, it could lift 50 ton. But the reality in lift scenarios is you're normally reaching out a distance to lift the thing up and move it. And the further out the arm goes, the lower the load capacity. In fact, the load capacity drops off exponentially. So if you're out, say 5 meters, it might be a third or even a tenth of the load capacity. And today's challenge has been the fact that we had to put the arm out about 10 meters to lift a 5-ton container, which it can't do. So a 50-ton crane can't lift a 5-ton container if the arm's reached out too far. So you need the right HIAB for the right lift, for the right distance, for the right weight, otherwise you can't move your stuff. Unfortunately, the site where ground force is going is not flat. Indeed, very, very few construction sites are actually flat. So you have to deal with undulating topography. That's where the ground's all over the place. So the way we do this is deal with a thing called a datum point. You get your one position, which is your starting point for everything else, and you work back from that. So in the case of this site, the northeast tower is the highest point. So what we have to do is build up ground around that point, so when the container goes down, it goes flat. Now, in the case of this one, we have these modular containers that sit on sloped ground. We've got to build up chocking to make it so they can sit flat when they go. But the north tower and the south tower are at very distinctly different heights, nearly a meter difference actually. So what we're going to do is get the north tower completely flat based off that datum point, do the same thing with the south tower, but then the 2 towers are offset like this. And before the first floor goes on, they need to be level. So what we're going to do is build up the south tower to be a bit higher on the top, so there's a base, a platform for the second floor to go on top of. So datum points, offsets, and then making up for differentials, so you've got a flat plane to work from, is key to this project to make the whole thing look very slick. And when you see the finished product, you'll see that the south tower's ground floor is a lot lower than the north tower, but from the first floor onwards, everything's at the same height as you go up, or at least it should be.